We have Meghan curled up in her bed with her son, who tells her, "Don't work too hard, mommy." Clearly, this conversation only happened in her head. This is all fake. And this is actually pretty horrible. You know what makes me so mad? Because I wasn't supposed to be doing another video, but I think it's important that I highlight quite a few things because there's a few details that I see other people talking about that they are not talking about. So if you're interested in finding out information that others don't have or don't focus on, you're welcome to come to this channel and also just to gossip. So guys, today as I was getting ready to go to work, oh, and by the way, beautiful people, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We know that Meghan Markle was caught with her pants down when Vanity Fair exposed her for trying to sell out a book or any deal post-divorcing Harry. This is back in 2022 behind this idiot's back. So she gets caught with her pants down. This is not even an if, and, or but if that's the case, because she didn't deny it. She said, well, there was no book because there was no divorce. To me, that was a threat, guys. So now what happens next? She comes and does this exclusive interview with People magazine, which, by the way, she paid for. And she paid to get herself on the cover. This wasn't even Ari Emanuel putting her on the cover. She actually had to pay to be on the cover. And then it goes and says, Meghan Markle's most intimate interview in years. Harry, the kids, and getting real about her learning curve. Exclusive. How can this woman at 43 years of age, who claims and who has sold herself as this savvy entrepreneur, as this amazing star, as this seasoned Hollywood actress who knows the streets, who knows what she's doing. She's in a learning curve. And of course, she's using the kids, something that Harry has claimed, and I do believe he doesn't want the kids front and center. But she has done it behind his back. Because when did she do this? Yes, this interview was published today, but she did this interview while Harry was in Vancouver at Invictus Games. So he didn't know that Meghan Markle had invited People magazine to come over to see her children, probably take pictures of her children, but she can't really sell them yet because, she needs Harry's approval because that's what's happened in the state of California. So now she has to fight off Radar Online article. She has to fight off the Vanity Fair. She couldn't keep quiet, guys. She could not. You know what? She could live with the UK branding her a bully. But the fact that the Hollywood Reporter and then Vanity Fair, the Daily Beast, Radar Online are all now reporting that she's a bully. The fact that we have Bill Simmons saying that they're grifters. And also that the Spotify cast came out and said that they are bullies. We knew that this woman could not just keep quiet. No, she had to give an exclusive. She couldn't do it while Harry was with her. So she did it after she was kicked out of Invictus. Okay? So what does she do? She comes and says, People magazine, I'm going to pay you so much for the cover. I'm going to pay you so much for this article, because most of it was written by her. Okay? Because we can see that. They go with that. There are tons of twists. There are tons of twists and turns. The Duchess of Sussex. She uses the title. And this is going to come to be very important, guys. Why she's really talking about the titles and why she's calling them last name. Because you see, last name is not the same as a royal title. A royal title can be taken away, not a last name. Okay, so, but we're gonna get there, guys, because this is gonna get juicy. And why does she look like a rice picker? Why does she look? And you know what? She had her former lover, Jake Rosenberg, come and take a picture of her last year in California. These are not new pictures. These are pictures from last year. So this is like, I did a video about it. I think he went and she flew him because he's married now with a kid, but she flew him to California to get the pictures taken. And I did do a video about that because I did about Meghan Markle's 17 lovers. And then I did a video about that. So she flew this guy, who's her former lover, to get these pictures taken. They were not taken just now because we know that Meghan recycles these pictures. Also, that Serena video that she posted on Instagram is not recent either. And I don't know, I'm sorry, I may be wrong, but to me, that's not Serena Williams because that woman is incredibly thin. And Serena Williams' hair right now, like, I mean, we're talking right now. I know that they can wear wigs and stuff like that, but Serena Williams right now is very blonde and she's going with the curly thing, right? That's not Serena. But so what I'm getting at is that these pictures are not new. These pictures are from May last year, May, early June, that she had Jake Rosenberg flown to her place. All expenses paid on Harry's dime because she doesn't pay for that, right? So she has been preparing this for a long time, guys. This is because she really, and if you're asking her, why did she wait a whole year? Because for real, guys, for real, they thought Netflix was going to release the Cooking Meghan, with Love Meghan, the cooking thing in August last year. I've been telling you this now. But because she was not able to secure the trademark, they kept postponing it and postponing it and postponing it. This is why she had those pictures ready. And this is why she flew Jake Rosenberg, to California on May last year, because she was getting ready for her pictures and everything for the August release of her show in 2024. Okay? So, yeah, these pictures are not recent. So here we go. Meghan Markle sits down for an intimate conversation with people. I mean, how many intimate conversations are they going to give? Then she give one to Oprah. Then she do that with Harry and Meghan. Then she do that with The Cut, where the woman even mocked her because she said she didn't even know that she was making this good, like these really weird sounds that she couldn't even describe them. And she wanted her to write the sounds on the magazine. So we know that Meghan was going to she was not going to keep quiet about being branded a bully by the entire Hollywood community. She was not going to let that sit down. So she does it for the head of the Netflix with Love. The Duchess, of course, she does not want to be called Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle opens up about life in Montecito with Prince Harry and their children. Of course, the titles, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, offering a rare glimpse into their world. She also gets candid, guys. Yes, Meghan Markle, that's the equivalent of lying. Meghan Markle, this whole article is a poor exercise on gaslighting, okay? She also gets candid about the highs and lows of launching her lifestyle brand as ever, sharing the journey behind her latest venture. Now, I'm going to ask you something. Didn't she do like a 1.5-minute video saying that the reason why she had let go of the American Riviera orchard was because it was limiting? It was limiting, and she had to actually only sell products from that area. Okay. So she starts like, this is written by Meghan. Meghan Markle is curled up in bed with her sleeping 5-year-old son, Prince Archie. Look at the titles. On a recent winter evening in Montecito, California, with her phone in hand, she catches up on emails, finalizing details for her launch of her renamed life brand As Ever and her new Netflix series with Love Meghan. Now, how is she getting ready to launch the As Ever brand? I don't know, because as of today, it's still not been approved. But let's go with it. That's lie number 1. Her husband, and this is why I tell you that she did it behind Harry's back. Her husband, Prince Harry, 40, it's still in Vancouver. I can guarantee you that Meghan would have leaked this article right when she left. And I can guarantee you that there were fights with Harry preventing her from releasing this interview while Harry was still in Vancouver. Because we know that Meghan doesn't allow the spotlight. And this is why we have this Radar Online article where it tells us that they're sleeping in separate rooms, and maybe Meghan is better off alone because, of Harry's brand is damaging hers. I did a video just now earlier, so please go check it out, because we know that Radar Online published that article saying that they're sleeping in separate rooms, and that Meghan is thinking of doing her solo career because, Harry, she wants to stay away from royalty. But look at the gaslighting hypocrisy. We're going to get into this. So we know now that she did this while she was in Vancouver. We know now that there was a fight, and this is probably why the CEO of Invictus was angry, because he probably knew that Meghan was going to do this, and there was a fight or something telling her that she can't be doing this, because had she released this exclusive when she was kicked out of Invictus, then all the attention would have been on Meghan Markle in this exclusive interview. Because here is very clear. Her husband, Prince Harry, is still in Vancouver wrapping up the Invictus Games. Meghan, 43, had joined him for several days, during which she stayed in close touch with her mother, Doria, checking in on Archie. And this is really weird, because that she says on Archie and Princess Lilibet. She talks about Archie without a title, but she wants to make sure as though that girl is more important than the little boy, who had both gotten sick. Then why did she leave? She had no reason to be at Invictus Games. It was not about her. And making sure they were seen by the doctor and sipping bone broth. Now she's savoring the stillness at home with Archie as he stirs awake, sleepily telling her, "Mama, don't work too hard." Do we believe this bullshit? Do we believe this bullshit? Of course not. Recalling that moment to people a few days later, the Duchess of Sussex, of course not Meghan Markle, but she calls the Princess of Wales Kate. It was the sweetest thing. So this is her recounting a story to People magazine. This is not that People magazine witnessed that whole scene. This is Meghan Markle making up stories once again. I mean, like any entrepreneur, Meghan has tackled the hard work of launching a new business. We know that she was working 1 hour a week with her and Harry. So, and we know that she had staff and lawyers to do that. And we know that she has failed at launching any businesses because she has failed to successfully register any trademark to date. Till this date, she still has not successfully registered any trademark. But unlike most, she has done so under intense spotlight. Why? I've always said, guys, when it comes to this, that she could have quietly done the groundwork, like the Kardashians or for example, Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow did not launch Goop until she had secured everything, until she had secured all the paperwork, until she had successfully registered the trademark, until she had all the products that she was going to sell. That's when she then launched the thing, not beforehand. Okay, so she wasn't under any intense scrutiny. She's the one who's been putting out the stories. I'm putting this trademark here, making little videos here. That, remember, American Riviera Orchard thing, saying that they've secured $100 million deals with Netflix, and that they were going to take the world by storm. She's the leaky ship. Even Shallon Lester had said that she's the leaky ship. This bitch. So you see, but she wants to let you know that, but unlike most, she has done so under an intense spotlight. Sorry, because of course she's special. She's more special than Gwyneth Paltrow. She's more special than Beyonce, who launches projects all the time and who are incredibly more high profile than she is. Clearly. Her initial brand name, American Riviera Orchard, debuted online. 1 month later, jars of jam with the brand's logo began circulating among pals like Chrissy Teigen, a bully, and Mindy Kaling, another D-list. Then came a pause. As anticipation grew, questions arose about when the products would be available. While behind the scenes, she navigated trademark issues. Then why would you launch something when you haven't... Do you know chicken, egg, chicken? There are tons of twists and turns. But and this is where we go back to the same thing. Meghan Markle criticized Princess Catherine about that Photoshop picture. And she said that Meghan Markle would never do that. All her friends came out and said that Meghan Markle would never be caught down with her pants down because she was too focused and attention to detail. You know, she would never do that because she's a savvy businesswoman. I mean, she's done everything. She's Rachel Zane. She's Rachel Zane from Suits. You know, she's a multi-millionaire on her own. She ran the TIG, you know. She did 134 minutes in Suits out of almost 8,000 minutes series, you know. She was giving a BJ on 90210. She gave a one-liner in horrible bosses, you know. And yeah, she's savvy. Okay. There are tons of twists and turns, even with the name, she says, in her most intimate interview in years. This woman hasn't shut up. So what was it with Oprah Winfrey? Wasn't that the most intimate thing in years that she's given? What is she talking about here? Just crap. I was figuring it out in real time. She is copying what Kim Kardashian said, and I did a video about that about 3 days ago, because Kim Kardashian, remember with her kimono thing? But unlike Kim Kardashian had already successfully registered the trademark. She had already produced millions of garments. It was called Kimono Intimates. And she has started her marketing campaign. But she did all of that after she had secured everything. The trademark, the products, the stores that she was going to distribute it, the online thing. So this is how the mayor of Kyoto found out that Kim Kardashian had trademarked her intimate, Skims, which is now known as Skims, as Kimono Intimates. And he wrote her a letter. But this is after Kim Kardashian just was ready. She even had secure contracts on who to sell it to. Unlike Meghan Markle, who did a little video, designed that pretentious logo, put it on the net, and then she had nothing. So this is how stupid and backwards this woman is. So she says that she was figuring it out in real time because she's dumb. What about her advisors? Because she doesn't listen to anybody. And although she has faced intense public scrutiny at every step, no, not at every step, at every misstep, at every lie that she puts out, she gets criticized because she lies very publicly, just like she's doing right now in this article. And this is why she herself claims to be the victim of a problem she created for herself. Because she didn't need to do this article. She didn't need to lie once again in this article. Okay? Meghan says the experience has been defined by growth. I appreciate everyone who gave me the grace to make mistakes and figure it out, and also to be forgiven with myself through that. It's a learning curve, she says. What do you have to forgive yourself for? For not listening to people or for being a bully? But it's not you who has to forgive yourself for being a bully. It's the people you bullied, Meghan Markle. But no, she has, you see, this is narcissism 101, guys. She is the victim. I have to forgive myself for my mistakes and for not listening to people and for being a bully. Because I am the victim at the end of the day. As Meghan builds her brand, her still unregistered or not registered trademark brand, she also continues to expand her life in Montecito. 5 years have passed since she and Harry made that seismic decision to step back from the royal roles in the UK and chart their own path. But their titles, and this is the crux of it all, their titles remain. Their titles remain, people. And this is what this whole article was about. And I'm going to tell you why. Meghan says the Sussex name bestowed upon her and Harry by Queen Elizabeth on their 2018 wedding day holds a deeper significance than she could have imagined before motherhood. Of course, it's cash, it's prestige, it's rank. But this is the interesting part. it wasn't a name that the Queen bestowed upon Prince Harry, because she puts herself before Harry, that the Queen bestowed upon her and Harry. No, this is gaslighting. The Queen has not bestowed anything upon Rachel Meghan Markle. She gifted Harry a royal title, not a surname. Their surname would be Windsor, or Mountbatten Windsor in this case. That is the surname of the royal members of the members of the royal family who do not hold a royal title. It's Mountbatten Windsor. It was decreed in the United Kingdom because Prince Philip, his last name, he chose Mountbatten Windsor. So this, like one, like two, Queen Elizabeth did not bestow anything upon Meghan. And for anybody in the United States listening to me, this is very important for you to know. The Queen did not bestow anything on Meghan. It's on Harry. As courtesy, Meghan is allowed to use Prince Harry's titles. Just to give you a quick example, the Duke and the Duchess of Windsor. The Duke of Windsor was the former king who abdicated because of this divorcee woman, American woman. But she was not allowed to use the HRH style. Okay? And she was almost not allowed to use her husband's title. But there was a fight, and the monarch allowed that she can use the title, but not the HRH style. Okay? So Harry's the one holding the title, not Rachel Meghan Markle, because she's putting herself before here, that she wants to let people think that the Queen gave her that title, and therefore that title is hers. But it's not a title, it's a surname that she's claiming. It is not a surname. A royal title is not a surname. Because, for example, if the king decides tomorrow, when Prince William comes to the throne, when King Charles dies and Prince William comes to the throne, Prince William can issue a letters patent stating that Prince Harry is no longer the Duke of Sussex, nor a prince of the realm of the United Kingdom. And therefore, Prince Harry wouldn't be known as Henry Mountbatten Windsor, or any name he chooses to, or last name, or he can call himself Henry Markle for all he cares. Because you see, the monarch can do this. And this is what Meghan is doing right now. Because Meghan knows that King Charles is in poor health. And Meghan knows that William is coming to the throne. And she knows that I believe that William, one of the first things he's going to do is get rid of that title. So, for the people in the United States, the Queen did not bestow anything upon Meghan. She bestowed it on the royal, who is Harry. She gifted him the title of Duke of Sussex, and as a courtesy allows Meghan to use his titles. Okay? And it is not a last name. So she says it holds a deeper significance than she could have imagined before motherhood. Why before motherhood? No, she wanted that royal title before she was pregnant, because the Queen gave her the option to continue working if the Queen hadn't gifted her the titles, she would have remained Rachel Meghan Markle, and Harry could have, or she could have been Rachel Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. She could have taken the name that non-title royal members of the family take, which is Mountbatten Windsor. It's our shared name as a family. And I guess I hadn't recognized how meaningful that would be to me until we had children. Why? She says, I love that is something that Archie, Lily, H, and I have all together. It means a lot to me. Why? That is manipulation 101. Because what she's putting out there in the world is that the Queen gave us a last name. Gave me a last name. That's not true. And if you take it away, you're taking our last name away from our children, our identity as a family, because it means the world to our family. So you're going to be cruel, William, when you become king, if you try to take that title away. I want to tell you guys that when William takes away the Sussex title, Meghan can go by the last name Mountbatten Windsor if she wishes to. And the children, because let's not forget that Lilibet, she had a surname, Mountbatten Windsor. And so did Archie, Mountbatten Windsor. So they do have surnames. And Meghan Markle can go by that surname along with Harry. That is the real surname. The Sussex name, she adds, is part of our love story. Why? Why is part of her love story? When she was dating Harry, she didn't know that she was going to be the Duchess of Sussex. Can you name me two things of Sussex? Now, with her new series debuting March 4th on Netflix, she's sharing her personal passions, including cooking, hostessing, and decorating, with her biggest audience yet. Which audience? The biggest audience she had was with Harry and Meghan. Anything else she has produced has gone on decline. Nobody wants to see anything this woman has to produce, but she wants to, her biggest audience. Yeah, no. She wants to, that's another lie. She wants, because she knows of all the negative comments on the Netflix trailer. And no matter what they do, she knows that she's not liked. When your children get to a certain age, when you're not just playing in the sandbox with them, but almost playing in your own sandbox again, it's super joyful, she says, as a woman, a mom, and a wife, to be able to find yourself again in a way that was always present, but that you maybe couldn't put as much attention as you now can when your kids are a little bit older. It's a wonderful feeling. Keep in mind that these children are 3 and 5, and that she has barely been with these 2 children, and that she has been hustling. She hasn't stopped hustling, trying to put out a business. She's been traveling the world. She's been taking breaks from the kids. So she thinks that the kids now. So basically, motherhood is done. Motherhood is over. At 3 and 5, when these kids need their parents the most, because neither Harry nor Meghan are present parents. Here, she's telling you now, she's justifying it to herself, that it's time for her to party hardy, and it's all back to Meghan. And this time with a royal title that nobody can take away from me. Because if you do, you're taking it away from little kids. Although the couple's 2022 Netflix docuseries, the record-breaking Harry and Meghan, and I'm going to make a parenthesis there because it broke records in the United Kingdom only. That is the only place where it broke records, but only for the first chapter, for the first episode. In the United States, it didn't. So that's a lie. Famously pulled back the curtain on their struggles within the royal family. This time, there's no mention of anything royal. Have I not just... I'm still reading you guys this. And how many times are she mentioning the titles? In fact, she made a whole point of talking about titles. So why... This is another lie. This is gaslighting. What do you mean there's no mention of anything royal when Meghan Markle is saying? Because she wants the world to think that the Sussex title is a last name, is not a royal title. But then she calls herself the Duchess of Sussex. She calls her sons and her son and daughter Prince and Princess. She doesn't call Harry. She only mentioned him H, and then is the Duke of Sussex. So what do you mean this is not royal? Harry himself makes only a fleeting appearance in the final episode, but his presence was felt behind the scenes. Whenever because of course she has to brand the guy around because, basically Harry was done. He doesn't want to feature in anything that has to do with this woman. These two are separated, guys. Harry spends most of his time in New York. Okay? Harry spends most of his time in New York, and whenever he needs to make an appearance here and there, he does that. Whenever Harry visited, said he was super polite and friendly, a crew member tells People. But it was clear he wanted this to be Meghan's moments to shine. No, he didn't want to have anything to do with that. And then they posed this woman as a rice picker. Pictures taken by her former lover. So then she goes, returning to her roots, basically back to being a D-list grifter. Meghan's 8-episode lifestyle show sees her cooking, crafting, and gardening with friends and chefs while sharing personal stories and recipes, a natural extension of her pre-royal life. In 2014, while filming Suits in Toronto, she launched The Tig, a blog on food, travel, and wellness. Years ahead of the influencer boom. What is this woman? Okay, she wants to... Did you understand this? That she launched this way before anybody, way before this became big. Really? Really, Meghan? Goop? just to, I could, this woman is trying to say that she was so smart and savvy. If you were so smart and savvy, how can you secure a trademark for any of the brands? So she was way ahead of her time when she launched the TIG. No, she was copying everybody else. She even had to say in one of the places that she went to give a speech, so you're copying Goop. This is your mini Goop. And she had to admit it. Ah, Dios mío. But as her relationship with Harry deepened, she shut it down in 2017 and later deleted her Instagram before joining real life. How hard was it to let it go? Well, I love the TIG, but I certainly love my husband more. She says, so that was a choice I made at the time, and I wouldn't change that for a second. Nobody asked her to give it up. The Queen actually urged her to keep going with it. Harry's now loving watching Meghan step back into her creative groove. My husband met me when I had the TIG, and I see this, and I see this spark in his eyes. When he sees me doing the thing that I was doing when he first met me, she says. Wasn't she a humanitarian? Didn't they sell her as a humanitarian? I mean, can somebody please slap this old bitch from that memory? Wasn't she sold up as a humanitarian in Rwanda? Giving water here in the United Nations, and that she was a humanitarian, and that she was going to use the royal platform for good, and that even the TIG she used for humanitarian purposes, which at the time I pointed out it was a lie. If you go to my earlier videos, you will see that I've been calling this shit out for years. That where was the humanitarian other than the Rwanda gig and that one world thing that poor agent got her. That's it, because she was playing a role in order to land Harry. She actually wanted to land Prince Andrew, but Fergie, she wouldn't allow that. So this is another lie, because she said that she was a humanitarian. Even though the activities on her new show feel familiar to Meghan's longtime followers, the filming pushed her beyond the comfort zone she knew from her 7 seasons on Suits. This shit ticked that box, 100 episodes of Suits. So now, of course, it pushed her beyond the comfort zone, because, of course, she has never starred in anything. This, if anything, confirms that this woman has never been the main focus of anything on her own. And she knows it's going to fail. So right now, she's trying to make an excuse because this is going to fail. Because it's going to say this has pushed her beyond her comfort zone. And that she has to forgive herself for the mistakes she's made, because this is an anticipation because she knows that her show has failed before it starts. I was never really in front of the camera like this. I feel like I want to throw up. I feel like I'm so angry at the press. I feel like I'm so angry at everybody who had come to my channel and trashed me, calling me a hack, that Meghan, all the sugars that have said that Meghan was like a Hollywood star, that this woman is so professional, that her curriculum, that she spoke like 10 languages, that she did this and that she did that she was very proud that she was one of the stars of Suits. That she was one of the stars of Suits, doing 100 episodes that she's done. So we go back to now, finally saying, I have never been in front of the camera, so if it fails, it's because I don't have any experience. So what happened with all the experience she claimed to have? About being a multimillionaire, was that also a lie? We all know it's a lie. Reflecting on the legal drama, which became one of Netflix's most streamed shows in 2023, she adds, it's a time capsule for me. I still have the pencil skirt from the first episode. Yeah, because she stole it. This woman used to steal stuff. That's the one thing I kept. No, that's the one thing. No, that's not true. But that's not true. You stole a lot of clothes from the Suits. And from Reitman's too. You stole the Aquazura shoes that you were wearing the day you came out and with that white coat for the engagement. She remains close to co-stars like Abigail Spencer and is excited to see the upcoming Suits LA on Peacock. I love that he gets a new breath of fresh air. The only person she's close to is Abigail Spencer. Nobody else wants to have anything to do with her. Her new show is in a traditional stand and stir format. an industry term Meghan learned during filming to describe most cooking shows because, of course, she's special. Yeah, of course, it's not typical. This is why it's going to fail because it's not typical. No, it's because she has badly copied more successful shows. She's not talented. She's not charismatic. And the only thing that she's trading on is that royal title that she's claimed she's not speaking on this article. Okay? It feels as though we're just spending time together, which is what it ended up being. She says, so the crew's presence on the series, the very same crew that she fired twice. They had to replace the crew twice. I'd make a recipe and say, everyone try this. So now she's a chef. No, we know that she has chefs there. But this is the thing, you know. And there are certain dishes where you just watch everyone flock in. Guess who owns a chain restaurant called Flock? Corey Vitiello. That is his chain called Flock in Toronto. It's very successful. So that's where you just watch everybody flock in. I'd say, is she trying to hint that she wants Corey back? I'd say we just ran out of spoons. It ended up feeling so communal, and that's the spirit of the show. So what she was cooking just for the crew and not for the special stars that came to see her? Ay, Dios. Ads director Michael Steed, who previously worked on the Emmy-winning series Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown. Everyone has this one version of her, but she's just someone who is hustling. You got that right. She's hustling and working and doing. She's hustling the royal name. Without it, nobody would give her a second thought. I genuinely wanted to create an environment where she could relax, and I know the pressures of what she deals with on a daily basis. What pressures? What pressures? Again, playing the victim. What pressures? She had entire crews there. She was bullying people. Was the pressure of being a bully too much for her? Being a bully was too much of a pressure for Meghan Markle. I was happy that we created scenes where she could tap into that part of her life, the poor victim, the gentle bully victim. Along with featuring her domestic skills with love, Meghan also highlights her own product line, which will be available on As Ever Come. How? She has the trademark hasn't been approved. Meghan has hinted that her signature jam will be among the offerings set to launch this spring. Did she do a video saying, the jam is my jam? Also launching this spring, her new podcast with Limonada Media. She's back on Instagram too. She was back since 2022 when I showed you guys on that video that it was her. And I knew it was her because Serena was following her and you all called me a liar. For the first time in years, when I was last on social media, boomerang was the thing, she says, laughing. Instagram stories didn't even exist, so it's been a minute. What is this bitch going on about? She hasn't been off social media. She's lying. This rice picker is lying. Despite the intense focus of her return to Instagram with her 2 million followers, most of them bots, analyze everything from her outfits to the plates she uses. No, they don't, because she doesn't have any brand. We're calling her out on her lies. Meghan doesn't identify as an influencer because most of them are bots. I see myself as an entrepreneur and a female founder, she says. And if the brand ends up influential, then that's great. She's not an influencer. You're right, Meghan. You don't influence anybody. You repulse people. You repulse, you don't influence. Influence is something positive. You repulse is something negative. If I know you're wearing something, I will never buy it. That's the kind of repulsion you create. And although the show paints a picture of domestic bliss, Meghan's slow cooking berries from her garden, she doesn't consider herself a trad wife, shorthand for traditional wife either. But we know that she rented a mansion. So whose berries is she picking? That's another lie. We know that none of it was filmed at her place. So she was picking on the berries and eating everything from other people from the mansion that she rented. I like being able to to do a hybrid, she says. Chinese food delivery is a favorite. But even when I get takeout, I will try to plate it beautifully, says Meghan. She encourages others to strive for balance, not perfection. Despite her show's beautiful imagery, the series is about doing what you can do, she says, and doing it with love. I'm going to explode. That outlook was first noticed by a friend who visited the set and came up with the name of the show. Their takeaway was they were so happy to see me as myself, bullying everybody on set. Yes, of course they were. Meghan says, she said it's like your love letter to all the things you'd love to do. And if you're signing off of a love letter, it's with love, Meghan. It felt right. And I love that my friend helped create it. Which friend was it, Meghan? Because the friend of your imaginary friend again, just like when Archie told her, don't work too hard, mama, don't work too hard. Receiving that kind of feedback from her friends who have quietly supported her through the challenges of recent years has been meaningful for Meghan. Why quietly? Why not step it up and support her publicly? You have to imagine my friends' experience through the past few years, she says. They spent all this time with me at home and at their houses or at dinners. For them to see who they know to be reflected on screen, it brought them a lot of joy. I'm sure Oprah's going to feature then. I'm sure that Gayle King is going to be there. I'm sure that Beyonce is going to show up. Her private world in Montecito. The Montecito community who have gotten to know her from school drop-offs and play dates with Archie and Lily have become essential. By the way, and for the record, the Vanity Fair said that they can't stand the Montecito community does not like them. They all hate them. They have never seen her do a school drop-off or pickup. They've never seen them. They barely see them around, least of all Harry. We hosted a little camp because winter break was long, she says with a laugh. We had several days with different families at our home, and we were able to get to know the parents better, and all the kids could play. Meghan and Harry set up an obstacle course and face painting. It's a dream, she says, but I also know that being part of a community means you put effort into it. Again, Vanity Fair, they asked the Montecito community, and they all hate them. They said that they don't know them, that they're not part of the community, and they don't mingle with them. Again, all of this happened in Meghan Markle's head. This never happened. I'm calling bullshit on this one too. In the process, Meghan says, Montecito has become protective of the Sussexes. Once you know us, I think you want us to have the same normalcy as parents and for our children as they do. Despite however unique our situation is. How unique is that? Most of the people, all of the people living in Montecito surrounding them are 100 times wealthier and a lot more known. So what is their unique situation? For Meghan, normal looks like night outs with Harry and pals. We go out to a lot of dinners. No, that's not true, Meghan. You've been seen clubbing it with her girlfriends without Harry. So what are you talking about? And just in people's homes or private rooms. Yeah, we saw her Kerry Washington's birthday party that Jessica Alba gave. I didn't see Harry anywhere. We just go into restaurants. Yes, and she's make sure she's pictured by herself. She says, I really love that we can just have fun. Yes, of course, when she goes to the private club members then. Her friendships with other moms have grown beyond school ties into deeper connections. Again, I reiterate, Montecito people have never seen her nor her children around. I have a couple of girlfriends up here. These are stay-at-home moms and working women with normal jobs, not in the public eye, she explains. In Montecito, pretty much everybody there is almost like a multimillionaire. I mean, we went from just connecting through our kids to having girls' night out doing Pilates together. I know that she's been seeing girls. She's been hanging out at Soho House and San Isidro Ranch and other members club only with girls. Our confidant recalls how they first connect. One confidant recalls how they first connected when Archie and her daughter became fast friends at school. Meghan reached out with a voicemail, invited her to a play date. You can see that as a unit, the friend says of the Sussexes, which is Rachel, Meghan Markle, they're all well connected. After her son's recent surgery, the friend recalls, Meghan sent a bouquet of balloons and a stuffed octopus from Archie and Lily, with a handwritten note that said, "We thought you could use a hug with 8 arms." And when Meghan was invited to her low-key birthday party at home, she showed up despite not knowing anyone else and chatted with the other women about mom stuff and life, says the pal. It was just fun and natural. She was very comfortable just chilling. Yeah, because you know why she showed up not knowing anyone else? Because she doesn't, this reinforces the fact that she doesn't hang out in the community of Montecito. Do you understand that? Because if she did, these are people from the community. If she really was that integral part of the community, she would know at least more than one person there. Meghan embraces life in her community, whether solo or with friends. I go to yoga classes that sometimes have 40 to 50 people in them and just walk in like, "Hi," she says, laughing. Of course, at the beginning, that felt like a lot. By the way, I think anybody walking into a yoga class with 50 people and everybody looks up is going to feel a little uncomfortable. But now I love it. It's the best. I had missed it. What she's saying, she had missed the attention. She missed being the center of attention. And I mean, she can only get it from a yoga class. And that is, of course, a lie, by the way, that she's gone to a yoga class with 50 people. The family's sprawling state is their sanctuary, which is why Meghan chose to film her show in a nearby rental that echoes their own space. I wanted to protect that safe haven. So what the hell was she talking earlier about cooking the berries from her own garden when she rented a house and she picked the fruit from that garden? She explains, "We're a close-knit family and I love those moments. Putting Lily down for a nap, having lunch together, having sacred time together at the end of the day. Our kitchen is where mama just cooks for the family. And with a crew of 80 plus people, that's a lot of people to have one in your house." The show also gives Meghan a chance to put her kid-friendly meals to the test. I am up before my kids are, so I'm normally up at 6:30, and then I get them up and dressed for the day, and we go downstairs. She says, "I love making breakfast for my family. My husband and Archie both love fried eggs," she says. "There's a lot of bacon around here, and then sometimes you don't have time for all that, and you just put a frozen waffle in the toaster and call it a day." And there's no shame in that either. You know why she's mentioning the waffler? Because remember when Harry did that thing with that fat guy who had I can't remember, James Corden? Harry said that the Queen sent them a waffle maker. Not surprisingly, Meghan identifies food as one of her love languages. Even before I was a mom, I love being able to nurture in that way, she says. "Some of my favorite childhood moments are the meals that my mom would make. She'd make a lot of soul." Doria was not around. Didn't she say in so many interviews that she spent all her time after school on the set of Married with Children? "Some of my favorite childhood moments are the meals that my mom would make. She'd make a lot of soul food." Don't forget she's somehow Black. I remember she'd taken a Thai cooking class. So every week we had Thai barbecue chicken and spring rolls. I remember those flavors so well. And I want my kids to have those same formative memories of things that I can cook. That means fake memories, because those are fake memories. That never happened. Doria left her when she was 3 or 4 years of age, and she appeared again almost when she was at the end of high school. We know that. And because Meghan herself, when she went before the United Nations and she gave that speech, she never once mentioned her mother. It was her father who sent her once via DHL a favorite Thai soup of hers to Toronto because he was spoiling his little princess. So he FedExed her soup from that Thai place. This is just like the story that Meghan Markle was running around naked at that Korean spa when she was 11 or 12 years or of age with Doria, which is not allowed in California. We call them mama meals. And those are, and you know why she says mama? Because she wants to sound black. And those are the ones that I hope they come back to when they're older, when they're married, and they have their own kids, and they go, oh, let's have a mama meal. And it's the same roast chicken I've been making since they were little. My goodness. Building a legacy. Let's not forget that Meghan is building a legacy, guys. Well, she may not have films inside their home. She found ways to incorporate home life into the show. Filming in their chicken coop, garden, and orchard. Archie did filming, clapboard, sweet moments. She says, because remember that Prince Louis took a picture of Princess Catherine in the woods? So now she's saying that Archie also was, he's a producer now. He's a filmmaker because he also filmed some stuff. She says, they would also come with my husband and visit me on set. And I loved that my children were able to watch me working and see the balance of that and understand what mama does and is working to create and share. It was really special because up until then, they hadn't seen me at work. Then if you're going to have the children come and be with you on set, why not do the show at your home? Because the home has enough space that you can basically cordon off an area that won't be disrupted to the children. So the children were being disrupted. And I thought that her work was to be a humanitarian. The crew recalls how Archie and Lily would run up to Meghan and said she was super attentive and doting on them. We would give them headphones so they could listen to audio. All of this is made up. Adds Meghan, I hope that when they get old enough, they feel really proud that they were part of the beginning of this with me. That the landing page of As Ever Come features a photo of Meghan and Lilibet hand in hand in their backyard, surrounded by trees. Having her daughter on the site was especially meaningful for Meghan. I thought that they wanted to safeguard the privacy of their children. Being able to have my own little girl, I've spent so much of my life championing the rights of girls and women, and to be able to see this as a multi-generational story. But she's not doing a show about championing women, is she? Can somebody please explain this to me? She's doing a D-list copy of Pamela Anderson's cooking show and a Z-list copy of Martha Stewart's show. So is this the legacy that she's passing on her daughter? She's talking about championing the rights of girls and women, but this show doesn't talk about that. Archie, of course, included in that. My husband is, of course, included in that. But I love the heritage feeling of it and knowing this is something that I can create in front of my daughter and teach her what it's like to be a working mom. This is something that hopefully can be a part of her legacy too. Life in Montecito has settled into a comfortable rhythm for Meghan and Harry when she's not filming. Afternoons are marked by what they lovingly call date dates. And here comes how in love they are, because she has to dispel the radar online, the Vanity Fair articles where they said that they're sleeping in separate rooms, that she was shopping for a post-divorce deal from Harry, where they share a quiet lunch together. In true parent fashion, the evenings include night recaps, unwinding with a drink as they chat about their day and make lunch boxes. So how did she not know what a lunchbox was with Billie Eilish? Am I missing something here? I think all parents in this phase with kids the same age know it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. The woman with like 20 people, staff, and has bullied pretty much everybody. If there's time, they'll catch up on TV together. We love Shrinking. Because she has shrunk Carrie's balls. We just finished Black Doves because, of course, Prince William and Catherine said that was their favorite show. And we were excited for the new season of The White Lotus, she says. Reflecting on the past 5 years since their move, Meghan acknowledges how much is different. 5 years ago, Archie was only 8 or 9 months old. So my life has changed so much, she says, recounting her motherhood journey. Welcoming a newborn, you mean paying for one? being pregnant while raising a toddler, and now raising both Archie and Lily. You're never around. And now you're saying you're checking out because now the kids are 3 and 5 and you think that bets are off. They can handle themselves. Anyone who has children will tell you it's a huge evolution as a woman during that time. I don't even know. As she looks ahead to the next 5 or even 10 years, she's open to what's to come. Can you imagine? This is just the beginning. Life is full of surprises, she says. And my gosh, in 10 years, Archie will be driving. Delusional bitch.